If you're PCSing to Fort Eustis and you want to live pretty close to base, then this video is for you, because today we're going to take a look at 7 neighborhoods that are all within about 10 minutes of Fort Eustis. Stick around, and we'll get right to it. My name is David Tortellini, and every single day I help people just like you buy and sell property here around Fort Eustis and throughout all of Hampton roads. If you're planning to make a move to the area, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. My team and I are here, and we would absolutely love to help you out. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to this channel so you can check out more of our videos as they go on. All right, let's start talking about our neighborhoods right around Fort Eustis. All right, we're in our first neighborhood of Colony Pines. Before we really talk about this neighborhood, let's just talk a little bit about Fort Eustis in general. So Fort Eustis is on the northern end of Newport News. Really going to take Fort Eustis Boulevard directly across the peninsula to enter, or you can really go up Warwick or Jefferson. There's a lot of ways to get to Fort Eustis, but the majority of the housing is going to be either kind of like below or to the east of Fort Eustis. So right now we're pretty much to the east of Fort Eustis, on the other side of Jefferson Ave in Colony Pines. And this is where the first few neighborhoods we look at are going to be. But this is a great neighborhood, right? So you're looking at homes in here that range anywhere from about 1,200 square feet to up to about 3,000 square feet. So you can get a really nice size home here. And it's great because price point in here is really, it's pretty good. You're looking at mid 200s, 250 to about 400,000. So, for being able to get into a nice planned subdivision like this, this is a good place to be for that price point. There's no HOA here. So I know a lot of you do not want to be in an HOA, no HOA here, but just a nice, really well-maintained neighborhood filled with people from Fort Eustis and Langley Air Force Base, to be honest. So you got to look at a really great population of people here, lots of military. So just a nice, easy, approachable neighborhood to get into. And, it's just, it's one of those ones where you can get in here, you can settle in really easily because it's not too crazy. You're looking at pretty traditional kind of home structures. You're going to get some ranchers. You're going to get 2 stories. Nothing's going to be overwhelmingly big. You're not looking at like 4,000 square foot homes here. You're not looking at anything crazy. And these were all built kind of in the, like the 80s and early 90s. So they're getting a little older, but they're not like, some of the neighborhoods we go look at next are going to be 50s and 60s. So you're really going to be looking at a wide range of housing ages in today's video. And this is going to be kind of middle ground here. So really good, approachable neighborhood, very easy. So what we're going to do is we'll walk and talk through each neighborhood today, and then I'll do a little drive through to give you a better feel for the whole neighborhood. So a couple minutes of driving through, and then we'll get to our next neighborhood. But yeah, really great spot, easy place to move into here in Colony Pines. Alrighty, now we are right next door in Windsor Great Park. So this is a neighborhood that would have been similar to what Colony Pines is now, except for this was built in the 60s and early 70s. So you are looking at older construction here, and you're looking at homes that are oftentimes a little bit smaller too. So homes here are going to range from about 1,000 square feet to 2,500 square feet. So we're actually kind of walking down by some of the larger homes in the neighborhood. So like right down here, these are going to be kind of your bigger homes here in Windsor Great Park. But they're also a little bit more affordable too. So you can get into this neighborhood for, a lot more properties in that 250 to 300 range. And then you're really looking at kind of a 350, mid 300s high point right now in mid 2023. So really good, kind of a little bit easier neighborhood to get into than where we just were. And it's still a solid neighborhood. It's a little bit older. So you are just going to deal with the fact that, you have like some 60s and 70s construction, and that comes with certain things. So, which is common for Newport News though. So like, if you were to describe Newport News, you would say it's a city filled with, 60s brick ranchers and some 2 stories like this. These are pretty common for this city. So, this is just it's an easy neighborhood from a price point. You're going to get a lot more starter homes. You're going to find more kind of, smaller ranchers in this neighborhood than where we were in Colony Pines. So, but still great neighborhood. It's literally right next door. And yeah, let's drive around so you can check out the whole thing. Alrighty, now we are totally changing gears and we are in Huntington. So this is right down the street from where we just were, both those neighborhoods. And this is the newest neighborhood in Newport News. And in here, this is your opportunity to build new. So at this time, they are still building new, and they're building both townhomes and single family homes. So it's really cool. And this is what construction, I think, is going to be looking like in a lot of Hampton roads over the next decade or two, because we are running out of room. So there aren't really a lot of new build opportunities. In fact, this is the only like big subdivision that's new in the area. So if you're looking to build new, this is going to be it. And in this neighborhood, there are townhomes that are going to range from about $330,000 to $400,000 a year with a $74 HOA fee. And they're going to be nice size. They're 1,300 to about 2,000 square feet. And then you're looking at single family homes that are going to be a little bit bigger. And I actually had to bring my notes out with me on this one just because it's such a big new neighborhood. So 1,800 to 2,900 square feet. And those are going for about 400 to 500,000 right now. So, like this is a nice example of a, single family right here behind me. And as you can see, they're single family, but they are on tiny lots. So most of the lots are less than 1/10 of an acre. There are some that are down at the end of the street down here that are a little bit bigger. They're more like 0.15 acres. But for the most part, you really are looking at, single family homes that are, you know, you can basically reach out and touch your neighbor sort of situation. So, but beautiful neighborhood. You know, this is what new construction is going to look like here for a long time, because we are so limited on space. And if you do buy the single family home, the HOA drops down to like $32 a month. I'm sure that has something to do with insurance or something like that, but really cool neighborhood. Love the big sidewalks. We don't have enough of those in Newport News. Most of the neighborhoods don't have sidewalks here. So being able to be something like this, you know, they just started in 2019. We are starting to see a little bit of resale come up here because, as you know, pretty transient area, a lot of military, people coming in and out. So pretty cool and really great opportunity. It's so pretty that it's just a nice quiet neighborhood, you know, like it's a Saturday morning. I'm walking around, there's a couple people mowing their lawn. That's about it. So great spot. I'm going to drive you through so you can see kind of the whole thing. We'll start on the main road as you enter the community. So kind of give you a feel for what it looks like as you come in, and we're kind of back in kind of one of the side roads right now. All right, let's go check it out. Okay, we are changing gears once again, and instead of being kind of east of Fort Eustis, we are now going to be south of Fort Eustis, and this is our first neighborhood in this general region, and this is called Stoneybrook. So it's going to remind you of Windsor Great Park, that second neighborhood we were in. And this neighborhood here, we're only about 7 or 8 minutes south of Fort Eustis, so this is probably the closest neighborhood that we're going to go to Fort Eustis. So if you're looking at short commute, this is a good target. But this neighborhood, for the most part, is filled with a lot of like 1,000 to 1,800 square foot brick ranchers and some 2-stories. And you can get in here pretty inexpensively for, you know, as low as like $225 for something that's like move-in ready. This is also a neighborhood where if you're looking for a big fixer-upper, hard to use your VA loan on those, but if you're looking for something you can fix up, this is a good target neighborhood for that too. You know, a lot of like 60s construction. So some of these homes are a little outdated and need a little love, but really interesting neighborhood because the Warwick River is right down here. And so when we drive, I'll show you, we'll go down Linda Drive, and that is along the Warwick River. You could literally, if you lived on the river, you could swim across to Fort Eustis because the like boat ramp is right there. So you could actually, yeah, I don't think they'll let you do that, but if you wanted to, you could and see how it goes. But this is a neighborhood where, you know, there are some larger homes here. I mean, there are some on the water that get up to like 5,000 square feet, but let's not, I don't want to make it sound like that's a normal sort of build for here. You're really looking at a lot of starter homes, 3 beds, 1.5 baths, 3 beds, 2 baths, 4 beds, that are going to be very approachable price-wise. And the other thing I love about this neighborhood is they added a road called Atkinson, and it's an overpass that goes straight to Jefferson Ave. So before they added that, I don't know, maybe like a year ago, that this was kind of hard to get to. And now you can go straight across to Jefferson, which is where all the shopping and dining in Newport News is. So really just about everything you can imagine is on Jefferson. And now you have straight access to go over there and head down Jefferson to all the shopping and dining, or you can head right up to jump on 64 and head up to Williamsburg or up to Richmond really easily now. And it just makes this entire region much more accessible, and it's right out your front door here. So good neighborhood if you're looking for mostly for kind of your starter homes, really close to work, a little bit older homes. So you got to deal with that. But otherwise, and then I'm just going to say, this is right off of Warwick. It's not the best part of Warwick. So you might want to try and be a little further back in the neighborhood if you can. There's just a little riffraff right up front that you don't want to make a bad investment here. So, but this is a good neighborhood once you kind of get in a little bit. So, yeah, that's it. Let's drive around. I'll show you. I'll go drive you down past the water too. Hopefully from the car you can kind of see it. It slopes down a bit, so it might be a little bit tough to see the water, but you get a feel for that too. All right, let's go check it out. Alrighty, well now we are just down the road in a neighborhood called Beechwood, and Beechwood is enormous. It's got to be at least a couple thousand houses, and they started building it in the early 60s up through the late 80s. And I feel like we've seen enough 60s construction for today, you know what that looks like in the area, that we could be in one of the newer parts of this neighborhood. And so you're looking at this enormous neighborhood. If you want to get into some of the older homes, it's going to be similar price points to really where we just were, mid 200s, something like that. Now, you may have noticed we do have some water here as well. And so some of these waterfront homes, though, are going to go for closer to like 500. So a little bit more expensive for one of these newer homes on the water, but that's to be expected. I mean, waterfront is waterfront and it just costs more. But one of the things about this neighborhood, kind of like Snido, this neighborhood gets better and better as you move further back. And I know that's common of a lot of neighborhoods, but this one in particular, because as soon as you come in, there's kind of like some apartments and stuff like that that don't have the greatest reputation. But then you kind of get far back and now you're looking at just like really great suburban life, like beautiful homes. Like this is a really great place to live. But kind of like the last neighborhood, you want to get a little further back. Now, it's great. You get a lot more newer homes. 80s isn't new anymore, I guess, right? So, but really well maintained, really nice atmosphere here. You got plenty of neighbors with boats. If you don't have one yourself, go hang out with one of these people. And yeah, so here, this is Beechwood. This is the newer part of Beechwood. We're going to do a drive through. I will take you to I'll get you to the little bit older part too, so you can kind of see that, but it's going to look a lot like the kind of other neighborhoods that we've been in so far. But yep, Beechwood, looking for something a little bit newer. Maybe you're going to pay a little bit more for that newer feel, the bigger 2-story. If you need a little bit more room for, if you have a family, you need that 4-bed, you need the 2,500 square foot home. This could be a good opportunity to get that. All right, so let's go drive around, check it out. Now we're in Holloway Bluffs, and this is a neighborhood that most people don't even know exists. So everyone thinks that when you get to this part of Denbigh Boulevard, that everything above it is basically Beechwood, and that it's mostly older homes. But this is kind of a little enclave of a couple hundred houses, maybe, kind of nestled. It's kind of surrounded by Beechwood, kind of up and around, and it's really great. It's a little bit newer homes. A lot of them are a little bit bigger. Kind of reminds us of kind of where we started in Beechwood, but just know that just kind of all around here are your kind of more like older 60s construction. These are mostly 80s, some 90s, so some 70s. But I think every every home in here has 2 full baths. And it's just kind of this little bit. I don't want to say nicer, but it is kind of a little bit nicer neighborhood that's kind of surrounded by Beechwood. So it is a little bit more expensive to get in here, but you can be in a home here between like 1,300 square feet and up to 3,000 plus. When we get down, we're on Garrow Road right here, and we kind of get down to the end, you start to see some pretty big homes. But yeah, I mean, it's a good spot, and it's right there. For both these neighborhoods, Nelson Elementary School is really right over there, super easy to walk to. And then when we finish up with our final neighborhood, stick around, because I'm going to take you down to the Denbigh Docks and show you that real quick. Beautiful public boat access on the Warwick River, so super cool. Stick around for that. And yeah, so just another little, no one knows about this. People will always tell me, oh, I kind of don't know if I want to be on the other side of Denbigh Boulevard. That tends to be like a cutoff point for a lot of people. And then you show them here and they're like, oh, never mind. This is where I want to be. And it's an awesome neighborhood. I have good friends in here. It's a nice place to be. So Holloway Bluffs. And yeah, we'll drive through. I'll take you down. You can take a look at the whole thing. Now we've made our way to the other side of Denbigh Boulevard, and we're in a neighborhood called Deer Run. So you're looking at a lot of, like, again, similar to where we just were, kind of 80s, early 90s construction. This is another one of those neighborhoods, though, that a lot of people just don't really know exists. They don't make it down past, there's a big church up at the entrance to this community, St. Jerome, and I don't think people know that there's a neighborhood right behind the church because it's such a big plot of land that the church takes up that they don't know that this neighborhood is back here. So I have clients in here. It's a great spot. You know, you're looking at like high 200s to mid 300s for most homes in here. And you're looking at homes anywhere from like 1,000 square feet to like 2,700 square feet. But I would say most of them kind of range in that like 1,400 to 2,000 range. So that's just going to be a lot of that. And so, yeah, you can get in the ranch style homes that we've just walked past. You can get into the 2-story. One of the neat things, if you keep, so it's Garrow Road, right? We were on Garrow in the last neighborhood, and then it comes through Denbigh, and you're still on Garrow straight through. If you follow that, it turns into like a 1-lane road, and down at the end is kind of like a homesteader farm. So like you drive down there, and you'll have to drive around like chickens walking through the street, and there's some pigs, and it's really cool. And then you get to and then they're on the water. So it's a nice little kind of like neat hidden spot. You know, this is where, you know, you get the modern city of Newport News, 185,000 people, meets the fact that this used to just be all farm country and just dairy farm and stuff. So you kind of like, this is one of those areas where old world meets new, and it's pretty cool. It's a nice place to be in. So yeah, let's drive you around, and you can see the whole thing like we've done in every other neighborhood. This is our final neighborhood for the day, so we are done after this. I want to take you down to the Denbigh Docks. That's where we'll finish up. You got to see how beautiful that is, and we'll wrap up for the day after we drive through this neighborhood. Okay, we made our way down to the Denbigh Docks. So come check this out. There's a big parking lot, so there's tons of parking down here, but we're at the very end of Denbigh Boulevard, right? And so now this brings us right up to the Warwick River. Really popular place. Tons of people come here to go fishing, put in boats. There's a boat launch over there I'll get to, but this is the place where, you know, just about anybody who lives in the Denbigh area with a boat is going to come down and come check out this spot right here. So, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful, and it's cool. It's right here in your backyard. If you live in the Denbigh area, any of the last 4 neighborhoods that we looked at today are all going to be, you know, within 10 minutes of being in here. You can ride a bike down here real easy, public boat launch, tons of parking that is all designed for people pulling boats, stuff like that. So really cool, beautiful area, totally underrated. And yeah, if you live in the area, you got to come check it out. We used to let our dogs go swimming here. It's pretty special little location right here on this beautiful water on the Warwick, and Fort Eustis, of course, is right over there. You can hopefully see that helicopter in the distance. That is Fort Eustis. So, yep, great spot. And yeah, let's wrap up today's video. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. Really hope you got a lot out of looking at those 7 neighborhoods. If you are moving to Fort Eustis and you are, you know, you want to be close to work, then those are going to be your closer options in that 10-minute range. So those are 7 really solid neighborhoods. We have tons of clients in all of them, and we've helped people buy and sell in there for years. So really great opportunities if you want to be really, really close to Fort Eustis. Of course, if you do have any comments or questions, you can leave those below and I'll reply to them as soon as possible. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video, share it with anybody else you know, and subscribe to this channel. My team and I are here and we are ready to help you out with your next home purchase. So when you're ready, give me a call, shoot me a text, or send me an email. Again, we'd love to help you with your next home purchase when you PCS to Fort Eustis. And if you are interested in looking at what's for sale in any of the neighborhoods that we looked at today, I'll put links in the description below, so you should be able to just click on one of those, see what is actively for sale in each of the 7 neighborhoods that we looked at today. All right, my name is David Tortellini. I'm with eXp Realty. Thank you so much for watching.